Hi everybody, I'm Dana Shoaf, editor of Civil War Times Magazine, and I'm back with Melissa Winn, director of photography. It is beautiful to be on battlefields in the winter like this. And I do recommend, if you ever get a chance to come to a battlefield in the winter, there's very few people here for one. You see things you might overlook. To my right in the woods, there are flank markers that I would have not seen if the vegetation was in for Union regiments. And it's just really pretty. And we're going to try to bring you this video and a couple more before we get out of here today to make it worth everybody's time. Now, there are big monuments all over this battlefield. Big, beautiful monuments to Union regiments, Confederate regiments, and leaders. And they have great stories to tell. But sometimes, small monuments have very compelling stories to tell as well. And that's the case with this monument behind me. Okay? Melissa and our footprints are the only tracks down to this monument. There are people that have been here. You can see footprints all over the place, but no one has come down here to look at this monument. You know, it's not as grand and statuesque as some of the other monuments here on the battlefield. But Melissa's going to step in and tell you a very compelling story about this monument and the young man that who it is dedicated to. Before she does that, just to put it in perspective, he belonged to a regiment in the Pennsylvania Reserves, and she'll tell you more about that. The Pennsylvania Reserve Division attacked from Little Round Top behind me, you can't quite see it, across the Valley of Death up onto Houck's Ridge here, very late in the day on July 2nd, 1863, the second day of the battle. These Pennsylvania Reserves are one of the last Union counterattacks to drive the Confederates back that have been attacking Little Round Top and the wheat field earlier in the day. The wheat field is behind Melissa, and we are just off Ayers Avenue. So that's the context of why this regiment was here. I'm going to step out, and she's going to tell you the story about this gentleman.
Hello, everybody. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Charles Frederick Taylor, who you can see is named on this monument. He was 23 years old when he was killed here at Gettysburg. He was born actually February 6th, so his birthday was a couple days ago, in 1840 in Pennsylvania, and when the war broke out, he was working on his family's farm. He enrolled in the Union Army in the Pennsylvania Reserves, and he was immediately made the captain of Company H of the 13th Pennsylvania Reserves, also known as the Bucktails. And he was captured in Harrisonburg, Virginia, in June 1862, but he was paroled pretty quickly, stayed out of the war until about November of 1862, and then the Pennsylvania Reserves, who had seen quite a bit of action, they spent some time also in the Washington defenses of Washington. The next year at Fredericksburg, however, he was wounded in the shoulder. He led his troops there as well. On the second day of Gettysburg, he again comes up here on Houck's Ridge. He is rallying his troops. They are under a great deal of Confederate fire, and he is shot. One of his comrades actually left an account. I'm actually going to show you a picture of him too. This is Charles Frederick Taylor. I hope you can see this. This was a picture that was taken of him, and it's just a printout of it. His comrade that he laid next to after he had been shot said, he fell, I was with him in an instant. He told me he was wounded and asked for water. After taking a little water, blood began to come from his mouth. He seemed to say something, but I could not understand. Mum, mum was all I could understand. I do not think he lasted 2 minutes. And he died here. He was the youngest colonel killed here at Gettysburg in the Army of the Potomac. Then in 1905, his comrades came out here and left this monument to him. They erected this monument to him, feeling that it was fitting for him to have one here as the youngest colonel killed in the Army of the Potomac on the Gettysburg battlefield. So this is a very unknown monument. Again, you can see we've been the first people here for days. We kind of came across it one time actually on accident on a bike ride. So If you're just driving by, it's easy to miss, but it's got a great story to tell with it, and it's obviously erected here for somebody who had a noble cause here and died fighting for it. So we are going to try to bring you some more videos today. It has been quite a trek around the battlefield. The cold temperatures and the tech issues that we've been having have been frustrating, but we hope you're enjoying what you can see, and if we are not able to come live, we're going to try to maybe do some of them as videos and post them later for you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you later.